Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. What are you looking for?
Didn't realise all them crates there. Can you backdrop that?
Good backdrop there.
Just in case you enjoy loads and loads of crates as
No.
something in our backdrop.
Never mind the beers, never mind the taps, right? Got crates for you. Yeah, we've got transfer roundup review basically on this evening's show. In a word of the wise, word of warning, this is going to be our last podcast on a Wednesday. We are going to move days to Mondays at 6 p.m. So next week, we're probably going to take a break or we might have a guest on. We'll do something. We'll let you know. Keep an eye out. But following that, following the Wolves game, I was going to say Leeds there, following the Wolves game on that Monday after that, we will be doing our podcast from there on out, 6 p.m. on a Monday live. Because of Champions League games, funny enough. So there'll be plenty of midweek games. Mondays at 6, yeah. And obviously that week, Barcelona on a Thursday. So, but yeah, that's the way it's going to go. So we can review the game gone, preview the upcoming European match, and just fit everything in a bit tidier.
Snug.
Nice and snug. Before we get stuck into today's show, shout out to William Hill for sponsoring this one. You can see that on your screen there now. The final one standing game we discussed a couple of weeks ago. You can get involved in that. It's football's free Ultimate Eliminator game. You can scan the QR code to jump on there, download the William Hill app on the App Store, or hit the link in the description. You have to be 18 plus to play. It is in the UK and Ireland only. If you're like me and you got knocked out of the game last week, fear not, because there is new game weeks every single Premier League weekend. So as you can see on your screen there now, or you listen on an audio platform, Saturday the 13th of September, cut-off time is 3 p.m., 200 grand jackpot in that weekend's games. So you pick your team. If they win, you're through to the next week. If you lose or draw, you're out of there and you can start again next week, though. There's always another opportunity, but try and get yourselves involved in a 200 grand cash prize pot if you fancy it. Sneak peek, I've actually backed Newcastle on main keg.
I haven't actually put mine on because, like you, I'm also out. I was out a week earlier than you. I think I was out by week 2.
Moral victory.
Villa to beat Brentford, didn't I? But Brentford got the win in the second game week. So yeah, I was up by week 2. I think you were week 3, weren't you?
It's harder than it sounds, man. I had Man City.
Yeah, you've got City on the
And then bloody Seagulls. Yeah, ruined it for us.
Seagulls.
So yeah, I'm backing my own team now. I'm not risking it. I'm backing Newcastle at Total Wolves, but there's plenty of time for you to get your pick in keg before Saturday the 13th, and then you lot at home as well can get involved. So scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. But I'll add me back and take off the banner. That was the wrong one. You might have preferred that, to be honest. You might have preferred it. But yeah, there we go. So we're going to do a little review of the window, rating Newcastle United's transfer business, and let's see what you are saying in the chat regarding that as well. Any other news, things you want us to talk about, let me know. Before we do that, though, let's quickly recap, and I mean quickly, that Leeds game that me and you were at Keg the other day. Oh, your mic might be out. Okay, is Keg's mic on? No mic you made for Keg? All right. Technical issues. Nightmare. Is it on blue? No light on it.
No, there's no light on it.
No light on it. You carry on. I'll try and fix this.
No lighty, no lighty.
No lighty, no lighty.
So while you're doing that, I just want to say congratulations to Big Renty, and everyone should give him a round of applause for the content that he's put out over the last month. Well, that's more than a month. 4 months. It feels like it's been fucking 3-4 years. This transfer window's lost an absolute lifetime. So daily content for you guys out there. And multiple lives, hour-long lives, 2-hour-long lives.
Honestly, I feel like I've aged 3 or 4 years.
It's been a long summer, and obviously, because it's Newcastle United, nothing's ever been simple. It hasn't been simple transfer talk, has it, Renty?
No, it has not.
Yeah, just because it's Newcastle United, everything's been very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So, well done to you for putting all that content out, as annoying and frustrating as the majority of it would have been. So, cheers to you, even though you haven't got a drink. You've got your tonic thing there. There we are. But everyone behind the screen, nice round of applause there. Well done.
It's been mental, like. It's been mental.
Oh, good.
It's been a busy one. Hopefully that's work now. I did that on purpose, you know. I turned his mic off just so I could get a nice little...
it's my time.
Just so I get a nice little message. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
No, isn't it?
I kind of wait to stop talking about transfers. But we've got another hour of it right now. So
this is the last time.
This is the last time.
There'll be no more after this.
Until January. But yeah, can't wait. And then we'll get back to the footballs that we're all excited about. And of course, the Champions League adventure. Let me know in the comments if you can now hear Keg. Hopefully that is
Hopefully,
all good.
Mic
It's all
check
on.
1, 2. Mic check
When
2,
I did
3.
the test, I was like, it does seem a bit low that on yours when the bar came up, but it's all good now. Back in the game. Cheers to people, Ollie there, letting us know. So yeah, we were at Leeds away. Everything was fantastic.
Oh, the day was amazing.
Yeah,
90 minutes of it.
Yeah, everything.
Let it down a little bit.
As per usual. As per usual. We even joked about that on the way down.
We actually did, yeah. We called it. Absolutely called it.
Terrible track record of away days, especially when you're driving. You know, drive down and
nothing anymore.
Jinx style, you get the train next time. But yeah, I mean, the day itself was great. Leeds, great city, but yeah, the lounge was obviously absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Beardsley, all the rest of it.
Day, yeah.
Shout out Nick and everyone for sorting that out. And then, yeah, the 90 minutes of football was absolutely lifted. Awful. League One standard on that one. But we just about got out of there with a point, and I'm glad we didn't have to watch any more of that because, wow, it was a snooze fest, wasn't it?
It was a tough watch. It probably would have been tough enough watching it on TV in the comfort of your own home without having to drive down to Leeds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like the less we say about that Leeds game, the better, because there really isn't many talking points. Like that really isn't much to say about it apart from how shit it was. Like, yeah, it was just a drab game. Like, credit to Leeds, they defended quite well, but they didn't really have to. We were poor. I thought, particularly probably two of our best players in Bruno and Tonali, I thought were terrible. Passing was shocking. Obviously, lacking that striker, Rasula was pretty awful. I just feel like the whole formation and personnel was just completely wrong. I don't know what Eddie Howe was thinking of. Unless there was a couple of injuries. Maybe Tonali wasn't fit because of his shoulder. Dislocated his shoulder like 5 days earlier. That might have played a part in it. I think
you're saying there, the five at the back, it wasn't just a bit stinky. It was very stinky, very smelly. I mean,
we were saying
too much respect.
How we finished is how we should have started.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like that starting 11, the formation, the personnel was perfect if we started it, but about 80 minutes too late to kick that into action.
Yeah.
So, it was a very disappointing performance.
Is that a real negative for you heading into this season then in terms of the lack of options that we've got? Because it seems like if it's not 4-3-3, then it's not working. You know, you did try and mix it up a little bit there. Maybe obviously Voltamara might change things so you can obviously play as a 10, as we've seen many times. So you could play behind Wisser or good old 4-4-2, crouching Defoe, stick them both up top. I guess he's added a lot of options. Shimmy was in the stands, could have done with them on the pitch straight away. But is that when you've got European games, you know, because it looks like Eddie Howe's tried and tested 4-3-3 is the only thing that seems to work.
It is, like, even at the back end of last season, that almost cost the Champions League. We changed things up a little bit. I think, was it Arsenal or was it the game before? Was it Chelsea maybe? I can't remember which one it was, but I think it was Chelsea, wasn't it? We changed formation up a little bit because there was a couple of injuries. I think, was it Joe Linton was out and
big miss there.
Maybe one or two others. So, yeah, Eddie Howe tried to change the formation. Was scraped by against Chelsea. We didn't play badly against Arsenal, but we could have done a little bit better. I just don't think it was working out. And then that game against Everton was dreadful. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think unless we play 4-3-3, we are really short on ideas. Like, we just don't play well. I think it is to do with the personnel. I just think everyone suits that 4-3-3. I think everyone knows their roles. Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall gets the best out of everyone in that formation, and I think everyone plays to their best potential in that formation. So anytime we change it up, we're a bit shit. It just doesn't really work. I don't actually enjoy it. Like watching the game, I'm like I don't enjoy this. It's not enjoyable.
I couldn't wait to get back on the Guinness, to be honest. When I was in that Leeds game, I was just desperate for my half-time pint and then desperate for the after. But when you look at the way we performed, there was no, obviously, cohesion there. And maybe that was too much of an ask to change not only the formation, but the personnel.
Yeah.
Because you had the likes of Ramsey, Asula, these players playing together for the first time, and it showed.
Yeah, like Tino was basically playing as a winger.
Yeah.
Dan Burn as a fullback.
No, I'm not a fan of that.
Lineup for a little while.
Yeah.
Ramsey playing like out wide, like just wasn't great. Like was it? It was a very, very frustrating day.
Man of the match was Sean Longstaff.
Good performance, Sean Longstaff.
One of our own. That was typical, wasn't it?
I know.
Been getting stick off Leeds fans since he signed, and then he comes in and plays an absolute blinder. That's just always written. But fair play, and we did well. Neither team had a strike. That's why neither team scored. Really, no. Calvert-Lewin came on. He had their only shot on target.
Chances towards the end.
He did. Good job. It was Calvert-Lewin and not someone better. But then Newcastle had nothing, and we'll transition this into the transfer talk and cake because Asula was our striker on the day. Basically just ran about pushing people over.
Fouled a lot of people.
For
I don't know if anyone had any five above fouls or something on that accumulator, but I'm sure he would have won that one.
He definitely would have won that one because he was not the best in movement or getting in front of goal or creating chances. I mean, if we had a Wissa there or a decent striker, you'd think we might have scored in that game. Like, you could say that for every game so far
Every single one,
this season. But Asula in that game then didn't do much, but he did enough to apparently tempt Frankfurt to pay £30 million for him. But that seems to be too good to be true. This was Curry Cooper who said this was going to happen on deadline day. It all went a bit quiet. And then when the window was shut, they said that Newcastle have retained the player and the deal fell through. No real concrete evidence of why. But then again, is it Newcastle? Were they waiting on someone else to come in?
Newcastle pulling out, right?
Surely we wouldn't have pulled out for 30 million quid, though.
Yeah.
I mean, did Frankfurt start seeing all the Newcastle United fans' reactions and think,
maybe they might have watched our vlog.
They had watched the Liverpool game, seen him come off the bench and thought, and then they had the time to watch the Leeds game and they thought, whoa, take a zero off that bloody 30 million price tag, son. But that was a mad old link, and it would have been a mad bit of business. Great bit of business. If Newcastle could have sold them for 30 million quid.
Yeah, it would have been, and I get sort of Newcastle's standpoint if we were the ones that pulled out. Like, I've probably mentioned about 49,000 times on this podcast that we need 3 strikers.
Yeah.
And especially coming into another Champions League campaign where we made that mistake 2 years ago when we let Chris Wood go out on loan, and we only had Isak and Callum Wilson, which, let's face it, are both injury prone, especially Callum Wilson, but Isak has his troubles as well. Like, not having that third striker was massively risky, and it was a risk that didn't pay off because we had mad injury problems that whole year, really, especially towards that back end during our kick on through the Champions League group stage. Like, we really, really suffered because of our lack of squad depth. So, yeah, we got Valdemar in, and I think we knew that Wissa was just about to come through. And have your opinion on Asula as a striker, if you will. For me, he's not it.
No.
Like, every time that I've seen him, like all summer, because we didn't have a striker, pretty much every preseason game, he had opportunities, playing almost 90 minutes of the preseason games. Didn't really, like, Sean Neve came in. I haven't really seen a lot from Sean Neve.
No, not really either.
I think Asula plays his best when he's out wide, but we don't really need him as a wide player either. There's better wide players there than him. As a striker, I just don't know. I mean, I feel like if we had a third striker in, I would have let him go on loan. And I think that would have been like a great move. Like, I was a couple of teams like looking to get him in on loan. That would have been a good move, or even a £30 million transfer. I mean, double the money that we paid for him.
Crazy.
For what he's done so far, apart from being a good agent. Like,
good dancer.
He's a great personality, and I'm sure everyone in the dressing room loves him. Like, clearly they do. Agent Asula. He's a great character. Ant and Deck want to go on the piss with him. Like,
there you go.
He's a great guy. His personality is infectious. Like, everyone loves him. But ultimately, it's a business, and you have to play good football, which so far on the opportunities that he's had hasn't really played good football.
No,
especially not against Leeds. I thought that was really poor. But yeah, I mean, 30 million. Like, should we have taken that? And rolled with 2 strikers and risk the depth. It was 50-50 for me, but I feel like that. I was really surprised that we got 30 million off that, to be honest with you.
30 million
is a crazy face, so I probably would have taken it. Yeah, because it was too good to turn down, and maybe take that risk and not. And Wissa's going to the African Cup of Nations. He's going to miss about 6 or so games in between the back end of January and the back end of December and the beginning of January. So we know we're going to lose a striker for a few games at that end. If Valdemar gets injured, then we're right up shit's creek.
Anthony Gordon step up.
So, exactly. So we're going to be back down to that. So that might have been why. Like, maybe it's just kind of keeping that in mind, and maybe circle back to this in January. Like, maybe it's when Wissa comes back. If Valdemara's fit and both of them are banging goals in, if both of them take like a duck to water in the black and white, then maybe we can let Asula go out on the back half of the season on loan, and maybe he's reassess the situation in the summer.
Yeah, I like that.
If we get like a £30 million offer again in the summer, then we'll take that all day long.
I like that idea, because revisit in January when you see how Valdemara's fitted in, settled, and how we're doing in cup competitions.
Yeah.
If we're looking at we're going to get into the next round of the Champions League, then you're going to need bodies. Carabao, the same. So, yeah, it could be a good idea to revisit that in January. But if you get anywhere near 30 million,
you get that again.
William Asula, come on. Because I tweeted at the time when they said it was happening, like, that would have been an absolute steal for
That would
Wissa.
have been, yeah.
50 million for Wissa and 30 million for Sula.
Yeah.
Can anybody bond down?
Been phenomenal business.
Take it all day long. But he's here now, so we're back and we hope he can improve once more on the training ground. And, you know, he did get his chance here and there in the FA Cup last season. Again, that was more so from the wing, like you mentioned. From the right, he looked good there. But I will say Wimbledon, he scored a great goal, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
The question is, like, is that his
Bromley?
level?
Bromley,
yeah. Oh, Wimbledon was Shaw 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, even worse, Bromley. So let's hope that that's not his level. But time will tell on the future of Sula. You know, Eddie Howe did say he needs first team football. Well, he's not going to get that right now, is he? He's not going to get that ahead of Altamari and Wissa when he's had it for the first couple of games of the season here and there and hasn't really done enough. Even though, to be fair, we did score off the bench against Liverpool. Shout out the first super chat of the show, Insanity. Is this take with Isak taking legal action true? First I've heard.
Big.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Statement, doesn't it?
I haven't heard anything about that, but obviously it was a serious allegation, wasn't it, Keg, from Luke Edwards regarding Isak, saying that he basically downed tools after the cup final to try and force that move to Liverpool. And by, you know, the highlight reel that people are putting around now of missed chances, of going off injured, of pretending to be injured, all the rest of it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we said it at the time, didn't we? I think nearly every week on the podcast, like you were asking me, like, is he injured? Like, what's going on? Like, is he playing hurt? Or is it like, I think we were blaming lack of fitness, like, because he couldn't get really past like 70 minutes, could he? Like, he was always like coming off. Wilson was coming on, but not really scoring goals. Yeah, like something just did seem up. And yeah, we're blamed in an injury or lack of fitness. But yeah, that was just something up. And yeah, like you say, like the highlight reel and stuff, like he wasn't playing to his best ability, whatever it was, whether it was mental, like you say, fitness, energy, whatever it was. But if it is true that he stopped playing well in order to force, like, because he didn't want to get Champions League because it would have been easier for him to leave. If that is true, then the rule book needs thrown square in his face. Like, whatever punishment comes his way, because it's match fixing essentially.
It is, yeah.
And let's be fair, if it wasn't for Man United beating Villa on the last day of the season, we wouldn't have got Champions League.
Plan would have went ahead.
And if that had happened, honestly, I would fear for Alexander Isak's safety. If we didn't get Champions League and it came out that he purposely sabotaged his performances to make sure that we weren't scoring goals and we didn't get Champions League, mate,
unbelievable.
That would be like, but even so, even though we did manage to scrape Champions League by the skin of our teeth, it's not excusable. He still did it. So if that is true, then I really hope the FA is looking into it. I hope Newcastle is going to try and take him to court, because at the end of the day, he was still getting 140 grand a week to perform well, score goals, and win games for this team. If he was sabotaging that, mate, that's match fixing. So he needs the rule book thrown at him, whether it's a suspension, fine, any sort of penalty. He deserves everything that he gets, and even that's probably not even going to be enough.
It's going about proving it, though, isn't it? It's going to be a difficult thing.
Yeah, it is, but like, you just need to look at his performances. Like we said that at the time.
And I was look how bad he was for the last couple of months.
He really was terrible.
And you see the highlight reel that's been put together now of the Ipswich game and many other games where he's just like blasting it into the ground, blasting it over.
He was far off it, like, wasn't he?
Because I was saying, he's got that that injury that he's been carrying. You know, he needs an operation and all that. He'll get that sorted this summer, but there was no operation. Obviously, the injury that was touted for Celtic away was obviously a load of crap as well. So, I don't know. It's absolutely mental, isn't it, really? But for someone to come out and say that in the Telegraph, Edwards, is mad. Like,
if there's anything to kind of back that up, then, yeah, like, something's going to have to be done about it. You just can't let that slide if it is true. But again, it is going about how you prove it. I mean, you can watch the tape and you can figure it out for yourself. Maybe it was an injury. You could blame his fitness or something along them lines. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to need to be looked into. And if there is kind of anything worthwhile, like any sort of evidence, then it needs to be taken to the Court of Arbitration. It needs to be reported to the FA, and he needs some sort of punishment.
Yeah, no, he does. On Isak, quickly to finish things off on him before we rate the transfer window. Quite strange his Liverpool interview, I thought. Did you see it? I didn't watch the full thing. I
watched about 20 seconds of it.
But just his you see him Wissa, he couldn't stop smiling. He's buzzing. But Isak was just like, it was kind of really generic. Asking about what do you think of the live bird on your shirt and everything. And there just wasn't. I thought he'd be showing a bit more emotion or passion or happiness,
100%.
considering he's done all this for months on end. He's finally got it. Didn't really show to me that much that he was that happy. Does it just show that he's we called him ice cold Isak. He's looking ice cold in that interview.
Yeah.
To be fair, ice cold as a person as well. Not just as a player. For what we used to say to find the back of the net, ice cold in his veins as a person. Like, is he there just for the bag and just for some extra trophies?
Yeah, looked like his cartel agent had a gun to his head.
Aye, Mr. Marinakis, not the first.
It was mad, yeah, because he's been trying to force this move through all summer. He wasn't happy at Newcastle. He was down in tools to make sure he got his move to Liverpool. He got what he wanted, and I'm sure he's getting a massive payday as well. Like, I don't really know what the reported wages are that he's getting, but
I wonder
probably double, maybe triple what he was getting at Newcastle. So he should have been doing backflips. Like, I would have thought he would be grinning like a Cheshire Cat, but he just looked miserable.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, it really wasn't. Like I say, like when you compare it to Wisa and how buzzing he was, like the smile on his face, like it was night and day. Like I just don't, I don't get it.
No.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like how just downbeaten, miserable, and just like, I'm so happy to be here. I might tell your face, mate.
It doesn't look like it. What did you make of him putting out the thank you message to the fans like a day later? Normally, they put that out first and then they say, new challenge, new step, I'm glad to be joining this club.
Yeah, it's normally like the first thing that you do.
You seen what Wissa did? He put out a really nice message to Brentford, really nice video and all that. Obviously, there's accusations, more accusations to Isak this time about his AI generated message.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah,
no. Do you feel like you just put that out there because you felt obliged to? There was any meaning in it?
Yeah, I don't really feel like there was too much meaning to it. It did just feel like maybe it's just kind of like a thing that you do, isn't it? Like, you probably would have gotten more heat for not doing it. Like
he already was, wasn't he?
Speculation was on him, and it did take a little while for him to do it. It probably is a good thing that he did do it. It does just kind of take the heat off just a little bit, but it doesn't really mean no. So, like, he could have not put one out, and I wouldn't have been arsed. Like, I didn't really expect one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose at least he did do it, but was it because he wanted to? Was he advised? Is it like did his agent or like some sort of advisor say, look, mate, you kind of gonna need to do this just to kind of at least win a few fans over, maybe? But yeah, it doesn't really mean that to me. It didn't really feel that heartfelt, and it was definitely AI generated. So
it felt like
thanks means fuck out to me.
The end and like, the 70-year wait for a trophy, like that's so AI generated. Like,
yeah,
it didn't really like. Would he really use these type of words and phrases for like winning that trophy? It was just like such a thing that would come from the internet.
Yeah.
And after a 70-year wait, we finally did it, type of thing. Like,
but it was just kind of like generic. It was just kind of like, oh, look what we achieved / what I achieved. Like, oh yeah, we got Champions League and we won this cup and blah blah blah. But ultimately, it was kind of like a brag on the things that he helped this club do. And it was just like, oh, thanks to the fans, thanks to the club, the manager, the players, the fans, my teammates, and then look at what we achieved, and that was about it. Like, it wasn't heartfelt. Like, it didn't really thank anyone. Really, it was just like a breezy comment. Like, it just means absolutely nothing to me.
Last on Isak, and I can't wait to not mention his name ever again until we play them. Then that's going to be feisty.
That'll be great.
While to wait for that one though, at Anfield next year, unless we get them in the cup. But is there any chance Isak flops at Liverpool? How do you think he's going to get on? More maybe hope than realism, or let us know.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to prove his fitness because, as I said before, he does have injury problems. And he's going to have a battle on his hands to get place with Ekitike, who started the season really, really well. And I think this probably will unsettle Ekitike as well.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would be surprised if one of, if not both of them, was still there within the next 3 years. Like, I reckon Ekitike will probably be pissed off if he's not playing and probably want to leave, just like Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. They'll probably try and sign a few more players, and he'll probably end up wanting to leave. And with Isak, he'll probably want to get out of Real Madrid.
Of course he will.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how I think he'll obviously do well because it's a good team. They've been crying out for that number 9 for a little while, and I think he fits the bill. But I said they didn't really need him. They already had a very similar type player in Hugo Ekitike that they just spent about 80 million on. So, yeah, I mean, I was going to say best of luck to you, but nah, I don't wish you luck at all. So, I don't really care how he gets on. I'd love to see him fail. I'd love to see him be money well wasted, kind of like what Coutinho was to Barcelona.
Yeah,
he was a bit of a shit signing, really, money in the end.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen flops before. You just mentioned when Darwin Núñez was big money.
Darwin Núñez.
I know the difference is Isak's proven it in the Prem, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to do as well as some people might think. I don't think he'll do.
I don't think he'll get the goals that he did in the Premier League over the last 2 years for us.
Nah,
because
I don't.
Salah's your main goal getter.
Salah's there. Tiki is there.
I still think he'll be good for 17, 18.
Aye.
But it's a bit of a knockoff from what he's got over the past 2 years.
I think it will hamper Tiki's progress, and it'd be to see how they get on together. But listen, I think he may be watching from earlier. Yeah. So I think he'll do all right, but I don't think he'll go flying like some people think, or Premier League's done now. 30+ goals.
He's not going to get 30+ goals.
I don't think so, but he probably will win the Premier League this year because there's just need one better. Arsenal look bad again. Arsenal had the chance to go. I feel the other day they haven't got the corners, man. Arsenal haven't got it in them. Sorry, they just haven't. They should have capitalised on Liverpool the other day. They bottled it and they were happy with the point, like they did a couple of years ago at Man City. Remember, cheering for a point, and they lost the league. Man City. It's very early doors, but Man City getting beat off Brighton and, this and that. I just don't think there's going to be enough pressure on Liverpool again. No. So they probably will get the league.
I think they will, yeah.
But I don't think Isak's going to be amazing. I really hope he flops, to be honest with you, obviously. But I think you're right. I think he'll probably be there a couple of years and then he or Tiki will go because of the game time.
Bar some youngsters. If you look at that squad, they're not super deep.
No, not at all. I'm missing out on Gay last minute. It's a huge blow. Huge blow.
Yeah.
They desperately needed a defender. Yeah, they needed a defender more than Isak.
They got that Italian lad in, didn't they? That Leone. He's quite young. That's centre-back options. Obviously got Joe Gomez. That's about it. I don't think they got rid of the Chimicas, did they? Because they got Kirkes and Robertson. Frimpong's injured now, so you're only right backs. Connor Bradley. Got some decent centre mids, but they got rid of Harvey Elliott. Got 2 good strikers. Wingers. Who they really got?
I know the starting 11 is good, but when you look at Arsenal's squad depth's better. Man City, they get clicking's better, but they just don't look like it.
Spurs have built a really good squad. I think Arsenal and Spurs have built themselves a really good squad.
I
think City's depth shit. Especially after they're getting rid of Akanji and Gundogan.
Yeah, that was my getting
rid of Akanji. I think City's squad depth's really, really sharp.
Edison, obviously they brought in Donnarumma.
Yeah, got a couple of good goalkeepers, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Got one main striker. You could include Marmoush as the second one, but they haven't got a third one. But Marmoush is probably more than number 10 for me. I don't know. City's squad's really shallow, but Liverpool's isn't much better.
So if they're taking man, Newcastle just need to get Voldemort firing, keep people fit, and run away. But Isak, if he can stay fit as well, is a big question because he has missed quite a few games. Carragher was saying about how that's his worry, the amount of matches he's missed. He's missed 39 matches or something in his 3 years at Newcastle, so that's a full season. So
I think that's the big thing, fitness and making sure he keeps ahead of Vegetica.
And balance, Right then, let's get on to the topic of the window, which is reviewing it. So let's run through, first of all, the incomings that Newcastle United made and the total spend. Then we'll do outgoings, net spend, and then just give an overall feel to it. So deadline day, we've got Johan Wissa, 50 million, rising to 55. Voldemort, 64 million. Jacob Ramsey, 40 million. Malik Chow, 34 million. Aaron Ramsdale, 4 million loan. Anthony Elanga, 52, rising to 55 million. Young Cordero from Spain for free. Young Park Sung-soo from Korea for 150 grand. That's a total of 244 million spent. Here I take a few extra thousand. Outgoings, Jamal Lewis, Callum Wilson, Isaac Hayden, all released. Odysseas on loan. Target on loan. Cordero's on loan. White, Kelly is on loan as well, but obviously it's going to be a permanent move of 17 million. Sean Longstaff, 15 million. Dubravka, 4 million. Isak, 130 million. Hearns and Sanusi also have went out on loan. So that's 167 million made in sales. Obviously, a big chunk of that being from the rat himself. An expensive rat, that. Net spend of around £99 million. So, if we look at it as a whole there then, Keg, what are you rating this summer transfer window, considering mainly, obviously, the 6 signings we brought in? Obviously, getting rid of some squad players there, some Deadwood, if you like, players that have been here for a while, your Wilsons, your Longstaffs, Target as well. A couple of the keeper reshuffles. what you're saying.
Obviously, the big story of Newcastle's summer transfer window is things like out of our control, like obviously the Isak drama and the drama of being rejection FC, like being like interested in loads of players that turned it down, like Ekatike, like Sheshko, went in for Trafford, didn't get him. So it's been, for the majority of it, it was a frustrating window. I think people were even frustrated when we got Alanga in, how long that took, and that seemed like it was bloody donkeys years ago.
The announcement took forever, didn't it? Then it was some random bloke on Twitter.
Because Liverpool and City especially were getting transfers in like way before like the transfer window opened on the 1st of July. And we had to be smart about waiting until the PSR deadline crossed just to make sure that we're doing everything that we were meant to do and making sure that everyone was appeasing things and whatnot. So we couldn't really get anyone in any earlier than what we did. But Alanga came pretty quickly. It was only like in like the first week of the transfer window actually officially being open.
Because we had that mini one in June, didn't we? And that pissed everyone off.
So we didn't sign anyone before then, yeah. So yeah, everyone was like losing that shit a little bit that we didn't sign anyone. But we did. But yeah, like loads of people that would try to get didn't come. Obviously, Isak's boycott and all that stuff, like it led to a very, very dramatic transfer window. But if you take out all of that shit, like forget about the tabloids and the people that didn't come, focus on the ins, it's a really, really impressive window. Like starting with Alanga, like that right wing position was something that we've been needing to improve on for 2-3 years.
Yes.
And especially going into last season, like we sold Minter, went in with only Murphy before his blue collar season that like absolutely blew up as a 29-year-old. Like no one seen that coming. Like Murphy was underwhelming, I suppose, about this time last year. Like he was a decent squad player at best. And you had Almiron, who say less. So that was so underwhelming. And then we even ended up selling Almiron after Murphy actually started to have a good first half of the season, continued into the second half as well. But we had Murphy as our only right winger. Like, mate, this is mad. Like, it was such a position of need for so long, and it's just dwindling away to absolutely no one now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're struck relatively early and got basically my number one target. Like everyone knows, like Eddie Howe was a fan of Anthony Alanga, put a bid in for him last summer. And we got one man, so automatically probably number one position, tick. Lovely. Number one target, Nate Pissner, and lovely.
Do you believe that he was the number one target? Because obviously there was talks of Brian and Boomo. Or do you think that, Elanga does probably suit our system more, doesn't he, with the pace?
I think he does, yeah. And like I say, like we already put a bid in for him last year, so you know he's been a long-term target. True. I think in Boomo was maybe he's a bit more of an interest. I don't know if we're actually put in an official bid. I don't know if we're actually in for Mbumo. Like,
Man U fans would say we did, but we didn't.
He's obviously a good player, and we said we would have liked him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Eddie Howe likes him.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I think he was the number one target, and I think there was a lot of talks probably going on behind the scenes to make sure that was going to happen, and we got it done relatively early. So huge box ticked relatively early, not as early as some people would like, but regardless. And then the rest of the window, like from there, it did seem to take ages. Like, we had a very good end to the window. Like it did take a little bit longer than we would have liked. Like we would have liked the 2, 3, maybe even 4 players to be on the plane going to
Asia,
going to the Middle East, Asia, wherever went, Singapore, Korea. We would have liked more than just Anthony Alanga getting on the plane. That was a bit frustrating. We got our goalkeeper through. We had a bit of a saga with James Trafford. Didn't end up getting that through, but ended up getting another goalkeeper in, which is a fine signing. I think it's just going to be a matter of time before he ends up taking over from Nick Pope and becoming the number one.
I hope so.
But no rush on that. And then that's where the kind of flurry starting with Malik Chow.
Malik Chow.
Again, one of the priority targets was a right-sided centre-back.
For years.
Yes, yeah.
Even though obviously Shaw's been brilliant, his age
and depth.
Back up. Yeah.
So, got a really good young signing in Malik Chow, and quickly went ahead and got Ramsey. We knew centre mid was going to be a need as well, even if Longstaff didn't go. I think just an extra depth piece there would have been nice, but especially when Longstaff did go, our backup was looking like a little bit thin, especially with Joe Willock's injuries and just the age of Lewis Miley. We definitely needed like a bit more of an experienced centre mid in. So, Ramsey was a brilliant signing. Couple of young uns we'll just kind of skip over. Cadero, who's already gone out on loan, and Park Young-soo, to be fair, looks like a hell of a baller. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to see how he develops over the next few years.
He's obviously stayed for now and in amongst the group, hasn't he? Yeah. So he might get a look in, maybe Bradford in a couple of weeks in the Carabao Cup at home. Yeah. Maybe a good chance to give him a run out, see what he's made of. Because he has looked Has looked dangerous in pre-season, to be fair.
Yeah.
So bright spot.
So up until that point, we ticked off big needs: winger, goalkeeper, right side centre back, centre mid. 4 needs, got them in. We're not just buying anyone in any position like Man United's transfer window. Haven't really improved that squad. We've got 3 good forwards in, but that's about it, really.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big thing was 1, probably 2, if not 3 strikers. Obviously, with Isak's future up in the air, we went and made a big splash after losing out on Ekatike and Shesko and getting Nick Valdemade. He's young, he's still a bit of a prospect. We'll see how he kicks on. And then obviously closed the window in getting a Premier League proven, experienced player in Johan Wissa. So when you look at the names and the positions, like all positions of need, it's tick, 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 tick. We've got brilliant players in. Every single one of them is a player who you think can at least improve the squad, if not immediately in the starting 11. So yeah, I'm really happy with the depth that we've built. Like, I think we maybe could still be 1 or 2 short, but having already spent 244 million, how much realistically more could we have spent? I think, like I said, I think maybe it's a third backup striker, maybe it's another centre mid, just all depth, like no one important. I'm not saying go out and spend another 30-40 million, but just someone with a little bit of experience, who's maybe he's on the cheaper side, maybe he's a left back after Target's gone out on loan. But yeah, 1 or 2 more depth pieces, and it's honestly been a phenomenal window. I'm actually really happy with how it's ended up now that it's closed.
It's funny, isn't it, how fans can panic and, get carried away or on the other scale of that, and everyone all somehow was saying rejection FC, and now it's actually refreshing to see some honesty from Man United fans and creators, where Goldbridge today has said that Newcastle United have had a better window than Manchester United, even after all the money Manchester United have spent as well, 200 odd million just on that front 3. But he obviously refers to Newcastle's balance and the signings we've made. And listen, it's how you finish, not how you start. Yeah, the transfer window. Believe me,
not a sprint.
Believe me, it was a bloody marathon. months of marathons, and we got there in the end. Salvaged in the last few days, really, with bringing the 2 strikers in. Nick Valdemade out of nowhere for 64 million, rising to 69 million. Wissa on deadline day by 30 seconds. 50 million rising to 55 million. I seen someone comment earlier, what do you make of that? I was just reading the article before about Wissa, how it was literally 30 seconds away from failing that move on deadline day.
Yeah.
There was a signature missing from one of the documents from Wissa. And then his agent, his representatives were running through the training ground to try and catch him wherever he was, doing his interviews, saying, you need to sign this, quickly scriggled it, sent it off. And then the email finally bounced back from the Premier League saying that it was retrieved, and then it was done by
Talk about
seconds.
squeaky bum time.
How typical is that of Newcastle United? But imagine we could be sitting here doing a completely different viewpoint.
It could have been if that deal didn't go through. And
if you sell Isak,
yeah.
sitting here with what unproven German striker, unproven in the Premier League, of course, he had a great year and a half. Exactly, man. Like, it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been very different.
Could have been awful. We could be looking at the free agent market, which we're going to look at in a minute, just for the crack. But yeah, the Wissa deal just about getting over the line. Premier League proven there. You see, we've strengthened the issues we've had for several windows because of PSR and other reasons. We haven't got things over the line or get replacements in. The centre-back one's big for me. Chow, the midfield boost for Ramsey is very good. A promising player there who's had some very good moments in the Villa shirt in the Premier League and even in the Champions League. And then, addressing that right wing, Anthony Elanga, has had a quality couple of years at Nottingham Forest. His pace should really fit our side, and hopefully soon we'll start seeing a bit more end product, because I will say
I was just
it was frustrating moments in that game at Elm Road on the weekend, particularly towards the end of the game where the crossing wasn't on point. But I think he just needs to get used to our team, get his confidence up, grab a goal or 2, and you could see a different player there, hopefully. And I tell you what, he's going to be putting it on a plate, hopefully, for Valdemade. So that's going to be a big boost where he's got crosses coming in. Wissa, who knows where the back of the net is, knows where the right positions in the box are to pick up. So I agree. I think it's been a really good window. It's been salvaged. It's started off okay. It had a midpoint of absolute woe, like awful, awful time. Like nothing was happening. No one was signing. Everyone was panicking. Isak was leaving. And then in the last week, we've flipped it on its head. And even that 1 week we seem to do everything in phases. That 1 week where we signed Chow and Ramsey, and then we're doing out for a couple of weeks. And then that 1 week where we're saying Wissa and Valdemade. It's what a relief getting them through the door. let's talk about outgoings before we give it a rating out of 10. What do you make of the outgoings? We've finally seen the likes of Wilson and Hayden. How long's that? It's been several years, even though he spent the last few on loan. Odysseas out on loan, Matt Target on loan. You know, a lot of players have left this summer. Obviously, one of our own Longstaff, Dubravka, who's been here for years as well. On the outgoings, after talking about the incomings, what do you make of them? Was there anyone else who could have went, should have went?
Could have, should have. I don't know because of depth. Obviously, Asula is probably the main one who seemed like if he was agreed, but then maybe were pulled out. Just to kind of keep that depth together.
Willock, maybe?
Willock, maybe. So, again, I'm just looking at depth. Like we're not the deepest.
No.
Like, we couldn't really have afforded to have lost too many more. I would have liked to have even added another centre mid. So losing one probably isn't the best idea. Same with our strikers.
Wouldn't it be nice? We mentioned it on last week's show when they came out. Mainu wanted to leave.
Oh,
could have just got a cheeky deadline day move for him and loan him with an obligation. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Loan him like a 40 million obligation. I think would absolutely been very, very nice to finish the window off.
Or Fratesi from Inter Milan. That would have been the one that we're looking at.
I think with him, but yeah, most of these none's really a surprise. Obviously, Isak's the big one, and obviously that money should hopefully in PSR terms sort out for a couple of years. Well, sort of right.
Hopefully it'll be a busy summer next year, but we'll get things done a little bit quicker. Please. Be nice.
Crossed,
Less sagas, more speed.
Letting one of our own go and Sean Longstaff was disappointing, but you could see it coming.
Time.
Obviously, he's just kind of being bled out as the team's improving. Yeah, he was kind of losing it with a year left on his deal. It was just smart to cash in. Take note, Crystal Palace. Dubravka, one of the goalkeepers, we're going to have to go. We knew we wanted to improve that position. Have your opinion on Aaron Ramsdale and actually improving the team or not? But it was either going to have to be Pope or Dubravka. We couldn't accumulate 7 goalkeepers again. So one of them had to go, and Dubravka is our longest serving one and oldest one. Well, not the oldest one because we've got John Ruddy, who's about 43. Dubravka got a little bit for him, but he was out of contract this summer coming up. He just signed a new one just as he got back into the starting 11 with Pope's injury. So we thought we didn't want to let him go, so we had him sign a new 1-year extension. So you had that 1 year left, and we're able to recoup 4 million of him. Like I say, he was coming out of his contract this summer, so we could have had him go out for free.
Yeah, not bad in the end.
Yeah, we ended up extending the deal by 1 year and got £4 million out of it. So
pays for Ramsdale's loan fee, I suppose.
I suppose it does. Yeah, Jamal Lewis's, Isaac Hayden's, obviously Odysseas Vlachodimos was never going to play for the club, so I'd have taken any sort of transfer fee instead of just sticking him out on loan. What's the point? You just cut his contract. How much is that going to cost to cancel his contracts? We did that with Hayden. Hayden was still in contracts. Hayden still had another year left on his contract.
Released.
Yeah, just get rid. Couldn't really do that with Target because of his big wages. So him going out on loan. Although I wouldn't have even minded keeping Target for a little bit of depth because I said we needed another left back. I think just a little bit of depth. So one way or another, with Matt Target, whatever. Keep him, sell him, loan him, whatever. Not really asked.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the loanees, Cadero, great move.
Where's he went again?
That's a good question.
I can't remember where he's went.
In fact, I've got my own little squad notes
thingy
on here.
He was linked with going to Holland, wasn't he? Then I think he went. Did he still go to Holland? But Cadero on loan. I'm interested to see how he gets on, man, because he looks exciting. Who?
In Dutch, is it Dutch?
Westerlo.
Yeah.
Waterloo. Oh well. Good luck there, mate. Whatever that is.
Yeah, so there's another name that I want to come to in a second, but just going to finish off with Lloyd Kelly. Obviously went out on loan in January and got good money for him, which is absolutely mad considering we got him in on a free. So that was really good business. Just getting, it was 25 million in total, wasn't it? Was it 17 million this summer and then we got a little bit on his loan or something?
I think so.
25 million fee, which is
unbelievable.
Mental. That was fantastic business. That'll sort out for a little bit.
One of the only good things Mitchell did, to be fair.
It was. And then the couple of the young'uns, Hernes and Sanusi. I think Sanusi going to the French Premier.
Nice,
a really good move. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, Lorient. Yeah, I think that's a really good move. So yeah, buzzing for him, getting some experience in a really good league. Hopefully, he gets plenty of minutes and comes back improved. And same with Hernes. But there's one name that you haven't got on here, Randy.
Oh,
he's gone to the bright lights of Prague.
Oh, well, what's he called? The defender in Madrid?
No, Garan Coel.
Oh, Grant, why he sold, ain't he?
Yeah, permanent move. Yeah,
permanent
Grant's
move.
gone out. Yeah, like, that's
Oh,
a bit
there
of a
we
shame
go.
because he was just starting to come good at the back end of last year for the under-23s. He was finally starting to actually,
He actually
show
looked
some
alright.
promise for a little while. Like, it was
Strange.
playing about 2 years again.
I finally
Couple
started
of
scoring.
Failed loan spells. I think he went to Hearts, didn't he? He was a bit shit at Hearts.
Oh,
Then
he's
he went to
terrible.
the Dutch league and he didn't really perform well there. The same year that Minter was at PSV smashing it. I wasn't Feyenoord, wasn't it? Yeah, but yeah, they were both in the Dutch league. One was flying, one was failing. So yeah, he stayed well last year and started to do really well in the under-23s at the back end of the season. So I thought, this is it. We're going to just keep him for another year. Maybe it's another, hopefully a successful loan spell, and he'll start to come good. But yeah, he's got to Slavia Prague. I don't actually know.
I was going to say, do you know what the fee was?
Yeah, but so yeah, business overall.
So at least 40 outgoings in, including obviously releases, loans. So a lot of players out, and a lot of people from that old era. The Ashley days of Jamal Lewis, Colin Wilson, Isaac Hayden. Longstaff, Dubravka, and some field ones since the takeover, really, in terms of Target, Odyssey. So, yeah, a lot of people out the door there, to be fair.
There is, yeah, but your only fees, really, most of them are releases or loans. So your only fees are
Isak, pretty much.
Yeah. Isak, Longstaff, Kelly, and Dubravka. That's it. There were only sales, really, this summer. So it's not too many. But obviously, that big money for Isak's sorted about there in terms of, I say, what net worth. Like, we thought we were going to have about 150, maybe 250 million to spend in the summer transfer window, and we only really spent less than 100.
Yeah, which is decent.
Yeah, the net business has been really good.
Should see us in good stead for the next few windows, surely, because it's meant to go across a 3-year cycle. So we should be absolutely sound, to be fair.
And wages as well, with like the likes of Wilson gone and Target on big wages. I don't know what the split is. I don't know how much we're going to pay for Target, but yeah, it's big wages off the books.
On the price tags that we've paid for the players before we get into our rating out of 10, make sure you drop yours in the comments, people. I've seen, I think it was Aaron before, saying we've overpaid for a few players. First of all, he mentioned Malik Chow, 34 million. I don't really think that's an overpayment. I think 30 odd million for a German international from AC Milan is decent. Like, in this day and age, you kind of get now for 30 odd million. I think he's probably referring to because there was rumours that he was going to go to Como a couple of weeks before that for like 25 million.
Yeah, but got rejected, didn't it?
Aye, so it's like I think 34 million for Malik Chow, German international, versatile,
young,
Serie A. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine, to be honest. You then mentioned Jacob Ramsey at 40 million. Maybe a little bit overpaid, but
slightly.
He's pretty proven as well, to be fair. And he's English, he's young. So you look at what Forest paid for Eddie Anderson.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even starting for Newcastle. That was 35 million, 40 million. So,
and something to keep into consideration is the majority, apart from Valdemada and Chow, they've all come from England. And there's a British tax.
Yeah, Premier League tax.
There is the Premier League tax. Like we mentioned,
tax.
Like we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think it might have just been last week. If Malik Chow played for like West Ham or something, how much would he have cost? Like they would have charged us 50, 60 million easily. Like what was the fee linked with Van Hecker?
They wanted like 60 million.
Yeah.
So Eddie Howe really wanted Van Hecker, from what I heard. Absolutely loves him. But Brighton, as Brighton do with any club that comes in for them, because it's used to Chelsea just paying whatever they want. They do it with everyone.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes in for their players, like Man U, try to get Baleba.
Yeah,
like 80 million, and they're like, why is there 80 million? All right. No worries. And then Van Hecker's probably worth about 40, 50 million max. Max 50 million, to be honest with you. And they're wanting 60.
So with Chow, we're probably getting him at a good rate. Like in international rate, it's probably standard. It's probably the right price. Like if he was playing in the Premier League, he would have cost way more than that. And you can look at that, you can kind of cross-reference that with all the ones that we've signed from the Premier League. Like we'll probably have slightly overpaid, but that's just the tax, really. Like you can look at people's transfer values. Yeah, we've probably paid over the odds for values, but for a lot of them, it's players that people probably didn't want to sell, and people that are still in contract, like your Alangas. Like they wouldn't have wanted Alanga to go. So yeah, we might have, I don't know if that is a slight overspend, but yeah,
probably
your Ramses and Wisas.
You look at I think we mentioned it earlier in the summer. Like every winger seemed to have gone for 55 million.
It was a going rate for a winger.
Madueke was just like 55 million. Kudos 55 million. Anybody who was 55 million if you're a winger. So yeah, I think
that was just the going rate, really.
Realistically, no. Like he's probably worth 45 or something tops. But yeah, it's just the going rate, man, and it's just the Premier League. The fees have been off the scale for everyone this summer.
They've been out of the shop.
Point there from Daniel was saying Como's bid of 25 million euros was accepted by Milan. The player turned down the move at the last minute. I did just look into that, and that's right. He Chow rejected a proposed transfer to Como in July despite AC Milan agreeing the 25 million fee. So that changed everything though, because then, Milan, he had a good pre-season, and then Chow might have got word that Newcastle wanted him, so that's why he might have rejected that move to Como. And then again, they're dealing with domestic, they're dealing with clubs in their country there, so that's why it was 25. When you see a Premier League team come in, they all know how much money you make, so then there's an extra 10 million on the transfer, please. Because they all do that. Because if you're looking at the Premier League as a whole this summer, spent more than the 5 other leagues combined.
Oh, yeah.
Then France, Germany, Spain, you name it, Holland, Portugal, then all those leagues combined, the Premier League spent more than all 5, 6. It's mental, that. That's the money that's involved in the Premier League.
I seen something on Twitter last night. It was like the top 5 transfers this summer in each league. And obviously the values, I don't know if it was on like transfermarket.com or whatever, but like they posted like a breakdown, like an image of each of the top 5 transfers from each of the leagues. And yeah, like the 5th most expensive player in the Premier League would still have been the most expensive player in most other leagues. Like
wow.
I think Dean Huijsen was the most expensive player in La Liga.
Oh yeah, 50 mil. Right at the start.
So I think even then, like I can't remember who the 5th most expensive player was, but yeah, it's like the fees are just absolutely mental. Like we have spent more than anyone, but it is just that tax. Like it is a real thing. People say that it's not, but it absolutely
is.
100% is.
Before we finally give our rating out of 10 on the window, shout out Joshua for this super chat. I know people say we talk rubbish about a conspiracy, but for teams to buy our targets and see them all sat on benches tells me they are targeting us. Yeah, I guess obviously one of the names that pops to mind there is Benjamin Šeško, who's been sitting on the bench at Manchester United. And now Ekitike will be as well. And Delap at Chelsea, or Pedro, one of them, who's going to be sitting on the bench. And you could look around the defenders we were linked with. Trafford now is absolutely destroyed the next year of his life. Yeah. Career-wise, I'm sure he'll have a fine life.
We'll get him again from next year.
20 million next year. Good price deal. Donnarumma will be there. Good price deal for James Trafford. We will go in for him. And then you might even say we might even keep Ramsdale if he does well. Then Pope will go.
Oh, that'd be nice. That Trafford and Ramsdale.
You could see that. I could see that. Called it early. 1 year early. Called it now. Next summer, Trafford and Ramsdale, the 2 keepers for Newcastle.
Chop it up.
But cheers for that one, Josh. But yeah, people might say there's a conspiracy in a few things, but some things do look relevant and true, to be honest. Rating out of 10 keg for Newcastle United summer transfer window, please.
I think I'll go with an 8.
Same here.
Yeah, so obviously taking out all the bullshit, all the media hype, and all the rejections, and the Isak saga, even the Wissa saga, his drama with Brentford. You take all the media shit out and you just look at it in black and white. Who have we signed? When you look at them names there's some brilliant names. You look at the squad. If you compare it to last season's squad, I think we'll look better. I say we ticked off most of the needs on the list. That's all you can really ask for. Like, you know what targets that you need, and we got them. So what more can you complain about? I don't think we missed anything. I say a little bit of squad depth, maybe like 1 or 2 more signings just to kind of boost the squad. Like I say, it didn't need to be big money signings or big sexy names on Outspike, but just a little bit of depth wouldn't have gone amiss. So,
yeah, sentiment.
So that's maybe why I was going to give it a 9. But yeah, I think maybe it's just 1 or 2 more, or maybe it's better fees. And we missed out on some, so maybe some names aren't as sexy as some of the ones that we might have wanted to get in at the beginning of the window. But I think it's a strong 8, leaning onto a 9.
I was dwindling between an 8 or an 8.5, but I'd only doing half measures, so I'll go with the 8, mainly because of the late business. I think if we had have done this earlier, then that would have been better. If we had got one of them strikers in the door a month ago, we would be sitting on 9 points, and that could make a whole difference towards the end of the season. So speed would have been better, a little bit more depth would have been better for me. Against Leeds, we said it after the game, we still could do with that number 10 or that creative midfielder who can unlock defenses a bit, someone who can maybe pick a pass. We could still maybe do with another midfielder to hold the fort a little bit, like a Kobe Mainoo or someone like that. Could we have looked at the loan deal here or there? Could we have maybe capitalised on a loan with an obligation somewhere? Or if Sula could have went for 30 million, could we got rid of him a bit earlier and then got in an experienced player or a loan move or whatever? there's still one or two things that could have improved, but I tell you what, finishing that window with Voldemort and Wissa has made me delighted.
Yeah.
And I can't wait until we finally see the pieces come together of the puzzle with, I want to see Ramsdale start against Wolves in the next Premier League game. I want to see Wissa and Walter Mara, to be honest. So, yeah, and how's Elanga going to link up with them? Very exciting stuff. So, for the money we've spent, getting rid of Isak, getting rid of a lot of fringe players and players that have been here for years, yeah, I'll give it a goodie out of 10.
Yeah.
Goodie out of 10 for Newcastle United's window. Now, that is a big change at the end of it because during the summer, it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, could have been a hell of a lot worse. Just for the crack, we're probably not going to do this unless there was a injury to somebody during the international break or early on in the season, the next game or so. Just a little look towards the free market, just like I say, for shits and giggles. Let us know in the comments anyone that you would look at as a free agent, because we mentioned there Newcastle could have done with maybe one or two more here or there. This is going off transfer market. .co.uk, and it starts off with what they deem the highest value player. So that is Tomiyasu, the 26-year-old Japanese centre-back, who was a free agent. He's valued at 18 million euros. All these are in euros.
Is he from Arsenal?
He's in Arsenal. He got released. They've got centre-back, yeah, but he's versatile. He can do both. He can do midfield now, to be fair. So a bit of versatility there in Tomiyasu. Yeah. He's always injured, isn't he? That's why they let him go.
True.
Josh Brownhill, I think he was meant to go to someone, wasn't he? Wasn't he going to sign with someone, Brownhill?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I
don't know whether he did or not, but he's a midfielder. Okay, you said he wanted more midfield depth.
Yeah, probably not him.
We're not even going to mention this bloke, the bloke that hates cats. Absolute scumbag, and we're not going to tie with him. Reguilon, who seems to have had loads of clubs in the last
he's been on loan
few years. Brentford, Spurs, Man United.
To be fair, we said we needed another left back. If he was free and got on good wages and he wasn't on target wages or Lloyd Kelly freebie wages, I'd take a shot on Reguilon.
I wouldn't mind that,
Yeah, I'd take Reguilon.
Just his depth. Yeah, in case you get an injury hole or something.
Definitely.
He's got bags of European experience.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I would actually have him. A player that was linked to Newcastle in the past who flopped at Chelsea. Could say that about quite a few players.
Every single one.
Probably will say that about João Pedro as well. Hakim Ziyech, 32-year-old right winger. Past it now, isn't he? Christian Eriksen, 33 years old, looking for a club. So, he's tempted by a bit of Eriksen.
I just don't think we need him. But as we mentioned, like needing another centre mid and how much European experience he's got. Played loads of Champions League ball with Spurs and Inter Milan and wherever else he's been. Obviously played it for Man United as well, so he's used to the big lights and obviously played European football for a long time with Denmark and Euros and World Cup and whatnot. I think he'd be on quite big wages, or even for his age. If we could get like an affordable, cheap deal for him, just to boost the squad. I'd rather focus on the development of Miley and give like your Ramses a shot. So I don't want them necessarily, but if say one of them got injured, like say Miley, for example, if Miley got a big injury and we're looking a little bit shallow, you know what Willock's history is like. Even Ramsey's got a little bit of an injury history as well. He's not a bad free option to come in and help out if need be.
No. I like this one, right? Just because I don't know where he's been. I'm going to click on it in a minute. But I remember him from Watford, and he was actually linked to Newcastle. He was banging the goals in for them. He's only 27. Nigerian forward, Emmanuel Dennis.
I've seen him not long ago, because I was watching the game. I doing the shops. I was getting a loaf of bread. I've seen him in a game, and I was like, Emmanuel Dennis.
How good was he for Watford in that spell, man? So after what? Because obviously he's versatile as well. Centre forward, he can play left wing, right wing. He was at Forest last year. He was at Blackburn before that.
Oh, Blackburn, that might be
Watford. 21-22, banging the goals in for fun.
I must have been back in last season playing for Blackburn.
Maybe he's got fitness issues or something, because you'd think even one of the promoter clubs like Burnley or something would take a punt on Dennis.
To be fair,
27-year-old, third choice striker.
Like a third choice striker, right? So he's a good age. He's not like past it. He's not like Christian Eriksen. He's good age, got some experience. He's a freebie. He's not be bad.
Thought Eriksen went to Wrexham. You'll know that.
He didn't. He was linked. No, he didn't sign.
Still, mate. He's on the market.
Still, mate, yeah.
Dele Alli, someone's calling for there. He's not on this list, but I think he's going to retire him, isn't he?
Not being funny, but he probably should.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as a midfield option from he was at Besiktas.
He's a crockpot now, isn't he? Although his missus is a Geordie, so...
Cheers, Perry, Seen her a couple weeks ago. Coming home. At the Company Together Festival, Perry. Missus was a big fan. There's Dele Alli. There he is, 29. Dele Alli. Patrick Bamford. wasn't good enough for Leeds. It speaks volumes, doesn't it? Because they could have done with him on the weekend if he was actually any good still. Yeah, I mean this list just goes
that's
on.
like a bit of like a desperate third choice option, because even at the beginning of the window, we said sort of half-assed that we would maybe take like Calvert-Lewin or Jimmy Vardy just as that like third choice option. So Patrick Bamford, if he's fit, might not be a bad third choice option. Like, he's experienced and played in the Premier League for a long time. So, but yeah, it's certainly underwhelming, and I'm not focused on Asula's career. So
I suppose so.
Develop him a bit.
Should have took the 30 million for Asula and got Dennis in. That's what we should have done.
Yeah,
just do that. What was that there? John Joe Shelby, The Last Dance. It's not on the list actually, but
did he not go? Oh no, I think that was his last move. Yeah,
been in Turkey for a while. I
thought you were saying for Turkey, but that was a little while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, we're already there.
I think we're already on free agents, but it's always good fun to run through that list, and who knows what emergency signings people and clubs might make if any injuries or so do happen. Got bait in the chat there. Good to see you walk in. Stick Keg centre mid and Pooley up top. You fancy going centre mid?
I would go centre mid. No worries.
Get your head on that in the corners and that. He loves a set piece. Does Keg like? Loves it.
Got me the salmon back in the day.
Salmon. Connor Salmon. What was what's he doing these days?
Get Connor Salmon in.
We're going to finish off on a lovely high. We do have Champions League football to look forward to. It might be an international ball break, which I'm relieved about, to be fair, because, nice to wind down after that summer transfer window. But the draw came out last week, which was kind of overshadowed by the Voldemort news, to be honest with you.
It did. People forgot about the Champions League draw.
They did. I didn't even post about it with me.
It was like the hour afterwards.
It was just absolute craziness. But we've got them lined up here. Obviously, everyone will know who we've got now, but we'll just run through the games, Kegan, which ones you're excited to do, any away days on the horizon. It all kicks off with a Barcelona reunion
kicking off
on Thursday, the 18th of September, 8 o'clock kickoff at St. James's Park. Just on that one, what a fisher that is, an absolute classic. We all think of Asprilla, we all think of Sir Bobby Robson. So, how buzzing are you for that one?
Absolutely buzzing. Like we said, like we wanted these big boys, and it doesn't really get much bigger than Barcelona. With all of like the big ones, like you'd kind of like to do that away, like you would like that away. You'd like that away day, but
new stadium as well.
That's true, yeah. But like, I think hosting them at St. James's and having them nights like the PSG 4-1 and like the Barcelona 3-2, like having them at St. James's Park and creating these European nights at St. James's, it's special.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah, you'd love to go away and have them like away European nights, but having them big boys come to your ground as well, that's still special as well.
Lamine Yamal up against Big Dan Bain.
Hope he plays better than Mbappe did a couple of years ago.
Why? Well, Dembele was pocketed by Big Daniel, wasn't he? So Lamine's not ready. Lamine's not ready for it. First away day is Union SG at the Anderlecht Stadium on October the 1st, a Wednesday night. Early kickoff of 5:45 p.m. First game against them that I can remember ever playing. And that's the first away trip for the Toon Army.
Yeah, I wasn't for that. But is that one going to be in Brussels?
No, it's in Anderlecht Stadium. It has to be on the outskirts for a bigger stadium.
I was going to say, because they're a team from Brussels, but the Anderlecht Stadium is just outside, isn't it?
They're cool, yeah. They're saying there's no trip to Almaty.
Devastating, mate.
Who's looking for that, man?
I couldn't wait to get out of it. China.
I already booked his tour guide for the Great Wall of China. Not to get a refund on that one, didn't you?
You can say Borat and stop off at the Great Wall of China.
At least it's a bit closer. Belgium.
Yeah. It is a nice one, that one, to be fair. Like, nice. You don't want to go to them places. Like, I think Real Madrid got to wait to Almaty. I think that was a couple of big ones.
I'll be tuning in for that, for the crack. I'll be watching that one. Not going.
I'll be absolutely not watching. Especially if the tune's not
for Real Madrid can anyway.
But I like Belgium. That's nice and close. Like they all are like, so we're away games. We're in again Marseille. We're in Germany for Leverkusen.
Yeah.
And Brussels
and Paris,
give or take, and Paris and Brussels dead close. And Marseille and Leverkusen's pretty good as well. So we're not going too far near west, silly like Almaty. And where was the other one? That was the Uzbekistan or something like that? Was it Baku or somewhere like that?
It was one of them. It was a couple from middle of nowhere, wasn't it?
One down there. So yeah, I've done well. And they're really good teams as well. All of the away ones like Marseille, Leverkusen, great teams, great cities.
Who's going to be Leverkusen's manager? 10 Hearts. That's a good point. 10 games. How mental is that?
That is mad.
Clearly just not getting on with people behind the scenes there. It's funny. I would have been funny to keep him in though, so we could had a game against
I
them.
would like to play against them.
Any game in particular there you're looking forward to? Obviously, excluding Barcelona, we've discussed. Any away day you'd love to be involved in?
Yeah, I think it is all of them for their own different reasons. Obviously, I think like Brussels is somewhere that I think I've always wanted to go to. Like anywhere like kind of like Brussels or Bruges, like somewhere in Belgium, like one of them like big Belgian cities. Like interesting. I've never been to Belgium. Like we done a European tour back in 2017 where we went to Marseille.
Yeah.
And Paris, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, we've done both of them, ticked them off when we traveled Europe together in 2016. But yeah, Brussels, I think, would be really interesting, somewhere different. Obviously, Paris will be class, and Marseille, for that matter. But yeah, Leverkusen.
Paris wasn't that class last time, tell you that.
No, it wasn't really, was it? But yeah, Leverkusen somewhere a little bit different.
I would like to go there.
For how much I've actually like traveled Europe, I've never been to Germany. And I've always wanted to go to Germany, so I think that would be a really good one. Like they're a good team, sort of, give or take these past 2 games, and lack of manager. But yeah, I think Leverkusen obviously won the league a couple of years ago with Xavi Alonso. So yeah, I think all of them for that own different rights are all brilliant away days. Like I think they're all class, and I'd really like to go to all four of them.
I agree. I think Leverkusen's a good one to look at. I had never been to Germany until Dortmund 2 years ago, and I have to say that didn't live up to the hype for me. Let us know if you went in the comments, but for me, I
Trying to find that yellow wall, were you not?
I just didn't think it was that impressive. No, maybe because I had high expectations. Obviously, the game was awful. It was lashing it down. We were crap, but I don't think the atmosphere was like out of this world. Dortmund itself, always spent a lot of time in Dusseldorf, was now really special. Like it doesn't make us want to go back. So I want to give Germany another go. I want to go to Leverkusen this time. Cologne is where a lot of Newcastle fans will be staying. And maybe even do a little bit of Germany, because when I said that last time about Dortmund, people were saying, it's a bit crap, that part of Germany. Dortmund and Dusseldorf is just not really happening. But he said
Munich's and
Berlin's meant to be the one.
Stuff,
so I'd love to maybe try and do Leverkusen and do Berlin as well. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, and then we also welcome, as well as Barcelona, Benfica, Athletic Bilbao, another Spanish team at St. James Park. And our last home match day 7, is PSV. Eindhoven on the 21st of January, and then obviously Paris to round things off.
4 good teams coming home, yeah.
Winnable games as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So if you look at those 8 games, will we get through to the knockout rounds then, Keg, like we failed to do last time? But obviously the format's changed now.
Yeah, so I don't really still understand the format, so I don't really know how you get through or how many points it would take to get through. But I look at their schedule, and to be fair, most of them are winnable. Obviously, you look at Barcelona and PSG as your hard games that you're not really going to expect massive results against them, although we have done in the past. So you cannot rule it out. Like, we could be looking for a big European giant killing, and that would be absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, Union SG, you'd fancy yourself to beat. Marseille, PSV, Benfica are all good teams, but I feel like we can beat them. Leverkusen's a hard game, but obviously how their season started so far, and they've already sacked their manager, could beat them. Like that's going to be probably your 3rd hardest game if they kick on this season and kind of recover from this difficult early part.
They sold loads of the best players now.
They have, yeah. I think that's the problem, really. Like especially in Germany, because how many times have Dortmund lost their players to Bayern Munich? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like all of them are winnable.
Going to win the lot,
apart from them too. Like
maximum points. Apart from Paris, you're never going to win there.
Yeah, away to Paris, Barcelona at home. Obviously, your 2 toughest games, but all the other ones are tasty fixtures. Like
they are. Like Andy, I think you got it mixed up here when we mentioned Bobby with Barcelona and Esprit. I didn't mean that Bobby was in charge of that game. It was Dalglish. I meant the history of Bobby
PSV now,
with PSV, with Barcelona, the roots, the connections there. Him managing both clubs should be nice to see. That United spirit with Sir Bobby Robson. Chris was saying there, Koala got sold for $500,000. Greenwood at Marseille gets stuck in that little scumbag now.
English players are in. I think Angel Gomez went there. They've got that young lad that scored in the Euros final. Rowe.
Rowe, who Deserby's was kicking off with us, wasn't he? Matty, when you're next on the Big Six, you did great on there. Cheers, mate. I was meant to be on Monday night, but there was a miscommunication, and I don't know when the next slot is, because obviously Big Steve's a regular on there, but I'm sure it'll be again throughout the season. But thanks for that. Glad you enjoyed it. I got stuck into them. As being, I don't know if you've seen it. I was getting stuck right into Saeed and Matisse and that. Caused a bit of uproar. But yeah. All here for it. Right then, you mentioned England there, Keg. Let's wrap up on that. And I mean wrap up because who cares really?
Not me.
Because Tuchel, so far, it's been boring as hell. But what I will touch on is obviously the way to mention it is because we have players representing the club there. You know, we've got Gordon, you've got Tino, and you've got Dan Burns. So that's great. And obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing one of our own. Elliot Anderson.
I think I can see Sean Longstaff.
No, he didn't make it, unfortunately.
Robbed
Robbed of a place. He obviously didn't watch the game last week, did he? Tuchel. But yeah, Elliot Anderson in the squad. I've seen pictures of them training the day on Sky Sports News. Burn, Elliot Anderson. What a chance for him to shine. Imagine if he could make that World Cup squad next year. We have to get there first, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's his journey has been phenomenal. And this is why I don't know if we did. I don't think we did. But with him and Minter as well, especially, we should have had some sort of option in their clause, if not buyback or percentage. I don't know what their contracts looked like when we sold them, but we should have had something in there, like, because we knew there was a player in there. And it's just kind of, he had a good year last year, of course. Like, Forrest had a really good year, but I think the way that he started this season, like, he's like a star player for them. And how much money have they spent? Like they've got a really good squad. I'm a really big fan of their team. And they've already getting some good youngsters in. Amari Hutchinson, James McAtee. Is there one other? I'm sure they've signed some other young English player. I can't remember who it is, but they've had a really strong window, as well as obviously having a really strong year last year. Obviously lost Alanga, but bar that, I don't think they've sold many more. Gibbs White, he's a good young English player. Like, they're a really good team, really strong team. And Elliot Anderson's standing out. It's so good to see. Like, I'm buzzing for him. Like, I'm not bitter about him leaving because I understand the reasons for him leaving. Like, we were kind of backed into a corner, and as a fan, he took one for the team. Like, he wasn't mad about being the one to help the team out in terms of the PSR bollocks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got nothing but love for Elliot Anderson, one of our own. I hope he does mint wherever he is, whether it's Forest or the next one. I'll always be a fan, and I always want to see him do well. And from getting in the England team, absolutely buzzing for him, over the moon. And from what I've seen, that if and when he gets capped, he's going to be the 6th graduate of Wallsend Boys Club to make the England
where
team.
I played back in the day from Wallsend myself, and I played at the Boys Club.
Yeah, Wallsend Boys Club, 6th
really
England player to be capped.
Class that. Who's the other 5? Shearer?
Gaza.
Biadzi, maybe?
Yeah.
Waddle?
I was going to say Chrissy Waddle, maybe.
Steve Watson?
Maybe.
Or did he get a cap for England?
I think he did. One or two, not many.
Interesting. Carrick, who I seen the other week at the festival, mate, Carrick.
Good point.
But I really wish Elliot Anderson the best, just like he wishes Newcastle the best. He was there as a fan for that Carabao Cup final. You know, it's a disgrace that we didn't have a buyback clause on him. Hopefully one day we'll get him back anyways, but with Forest Zona, that could be a bit tricky.
We'll not be doing too
Actually, to be fair, the buyback clause wouldn't even have mattered. Gibbs White had a release clause. It got triggered. And he didn't even get it. So there's no getting away from the Greek sugar night. So England play, and obviously this is, we say who cares. It is an important game because it is a World Cup qualifier. It's Andorra on Saturday at 5 o'clock at Wembley, and then it's away to Serbia. Ooh, big Mitrovic. Is he still gone? Mitrovic, Vlahovic.
Should be, yeah.
On Tuesday night. Quick score prediction for Andorra. I'll go 4-0. Even though under Tuchel it's been like 1-0s and 2-0s.
That's what I was going to say. Like, a team like Andorra could quite comfortably be 4-5-6-0, but 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Yes, probably more, right, to be fair. Serbia are away.
1-0.
Maybe 1-1.
Maybe it's 1-1. Yeah.
Aye, I don't think it's going to be that exciting. Aye. There we go then, people. Thanks a lot, everyone, for tuning in throughout the summer, throughout the podcast. Since we started, you give me a big thank you, Keg, so I'd like to give you a big thank you as well.
No problem.
For making the show what it is, the pair of us together here. And we are moving, as I mentioned earlier, to Mondays at 6, following the week after next. When the boys are back after Wolves, we'll be back on a brand new time slot, Mondays at 6 live. So make sure you get that in your diary, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep tuned in throughout all the upcoming news, previews, and the big Champions League trips ahead. Exciting times. Drop a like, everyone. Comment below and enjoy yourself.